So, in the last session we discussed about custom roles definition. Okay, we'll continue on the same. Okay, so here this is what we performed. These tasks we performed in the system. We created these roles from IDM, APM, and we did the mapping. We added to the template, and with the help of template we generated custom roles. The same we assigned to user, and we submitted LDAP, and from the custom role we created invoice also for testing. So that means we are creating this job roles and duty roles from IDM and APM. Okay, and now I'll take simple example. I'll take the same case. So requirement is invoice creation. But we don't want to allow the user to validate the invoice. Okay, you don't want to allow the user to validate the invoice. In case of EBS, what we do, if you don't want to allow users, okay, any user from specific operating unit, directly in the payable options we have a control called as allow online validation. If you disable the checkbox, within that operating unit no user can validate the invoice. But if you want to disable that option for specific user or specific responsibility, we have option through personalization. Through personalization we can do in the EBS, but when you talk about Fusion, you don't need to do any personalization. Also role level you can restrict it. We'll go and see that. The same time we'll understand, apart from this IDM and the APM, from where you can define this kind of custom roles. That point also will include now. Okay, the requirement is invoice creation. We want to exclude invoice validation. Take that as a simple requirement. Okay, no validation. Okay, without validation. Sorry. Okay, without validation function, we want to allow the user to create the invoices. And take this as a requirement. We tested invoice creation also. There we don't see create accounting. Okay, accounting option is not there. If you want to add accounting, if you don't want to allow for validation, anything you can do from there. We'll see. So almost same process, but we are not going to do all these activities from the IDM. Okay, so we discussed very detailed level and we did the same in the system, how to create the custom role. So the second option to create the custom role and very advanced option is security console. Okay, we have security console. From here, the very simplified way you can create the custom roles. You can make a copy of existing and you can group multiple roles, and you can set functional security as well as data security, different policies. Request you all to mute, please. Thank you. Fine. Okay, we have a advanced feature called as security console. From here, this role customization job will become very easy. Easily you can go and customize any role. You can sorry, you can make a copy of existing role and you can do the required changes, or else from scratch you can create the role, and there you can select all the functions as well as security related objects, everything as per our requirement. We can go and set it up. Okay, we'll go and see how to do that. So now we are going to create the custom role from security console. Take this as a requirement, because similar requirement only we tested by going with very standard role custom role creation process. Now how simply you can go and create that, we are going to see through security console. Go to application, go to navigator, under tools you will find security console. This security console function you can find under tools if you have access to IT security manager. For our user, we assigned IT security manager also. That is the reason we are able to access this security console function. Click on security console. Okay, click on security console. Now, in earlier example, what we did, what are the duty role we have? The duty role is nothing but invoice creation duty. By selecting that duty role, we created a custom role. Now we require same duty role, but within that we want to do some modifications. We know very well whatever Oracle is providing as seeded, we should not disturb it. If you want to do any changes to seeded one, we have to make a copy, and copied environment you can do any required changes. So this is a security console. Here, search for the role, for which role, against which role you want to create the custom role with some changes. So here, or else let's do in this way. See, anyway, whatever the custom role you want to create, before that you have to create the job role. Without job role, only you can assign to the template. Against job role only, system will generate the data role. So this duty role and all will be creating. First we'll go and create the job role. In case of in this process we created job role from idea. Now we'll see how to create the job role. Okay, how to create the job role. Job roles only we call as what? Already we discussed external role. Okay, so job, data and abstract, all these roles are we are calling as external roles. Already we discussed that point. And duty roles we are calling as application roles. Okay, how to create external role, job role from IDM we discussed. Now we'll see how to create the same from security console also. So from here, first we'll create the job role, then we'll go and create the duty role. When we are creating duty role, we'll go and do some changes to the seeded duty role by making the copy. First I'm going to create the job role. Here also same process. See, here is almost same process will follow here, and we'll do some changes will be there. Okay, from security console we are going to do it. So we'll create the job role in IDM. Generally this is what we did, but now we are not going to do from IDM, in security console itself. Okay, create duty role in APM. Okay, ultimately duty role, the definition, naming convention we have to give in APM only. But before that, what I'll do is copy seeded duty role and make changes. What are the changes you require within that, you can do that. After that you create the duty role by selecting this whatever custom one you created. Okay, ultimately here we are creating the custom duty role. Okay, and then finally we'll go and create the duty role in APM only. These two we have to map. For that reason we have to go and we have to assign, generate and rest of process remains same. This is the process we are going to follow. First we'll create the job role in from security console. Okay, in security console we'll go and create the job role. How to create it? It's very simple. Click on security console, click on create role, and here you can give the name. I'll give the name as Fusion I'll give the name as invoice creation custom. Okay, here we have to give the code Fusion invoice custom. So these points are very important, whatever we discussed here. External roles, right? What are the job roles? Job roles we call as external roles. So role source we have to select as external. Application role is nothing but duty role. Okay, external role. Select external role, and here go to role category. The role category you can go to the financials. So what we are creating? We are going to create the job roles, right? Now we are going to create the job role. Now click on next. We know very well when we created this job role, custom job role in IDM in the last session, we didn't select any privileges into that. Just we given the name and we saved, but we discussed we can maintain the hierarchy but not required. Okay, if you want to do, you can do it, but not required. Just you can proceed with that. So data security policies, nothing we are not setting. Just go next, 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 and complete. Okay, say save and close. We'll discuss these few points. Will be once again we'll be doing the similar task. Then just the naming convention I given. That's all. Okay, so this now whatever we did, the same process in IDM we can do it by following the almost same process from security console. We completed this. Okay, we're done with this. Now what we have to do is in the last uh, the last session whatever we tested, in that case whatever Oracle given as a invoice creation duty which is seeded, we used as is. That as is we selected and we created a custom role and we tested. But now in this session we are not going to use as is how Oracle is giving. We want to do some changes. As we discussed, we want to remove the validation. Okay, invoice validation we don't want to allow that user. So for that reason what we have to do is the seeded one you cannot go and do any changes. You should not do that. Only the option is you have to go with the copy. The seeded duty role you have to copy first. Okay, we'll go on to copy it. So here say invoice creation. Okay, invoice creation, payables invoice creation. This is the duty role, right? Duty role only we have to select. You select payables invoice creation. This is seeded one. From APM also payables invoice creation duty only we selected. I'm selecting here payables invoice creation. Okay, select it. This is seeded one. So within that what are the privileges, what are the accesses we have, you can see here. These all are the different functions available. If you place the cursor you can see. So validate in payables invoice allows validation for the Fusion payables invoices. This is another function. View payable invoices, edit payable invoices, modify payable invoice tax drivers, and different functions. Delete payable invoices. These are the privileges. If you go and assign this role to any user, that user can get the privileges to all these functions. Okay, now this is as per seeded all you can see in this way. See these features which you can see in some maroon color representation, those all are directly related to payables, but which you see in the green color representation, those are some supported process. Okay, so something you can say inherited functionality which is from other applications which will be connected with this role related process. Say here item inquiry. Okay, or else when you are working on payables, the payables tightly integrated with the purchasing. So whatever the purchasing functionality is connected with the payables, okay, that kind of functionalities you can call as inherited. Sorry, inherited. And the relevant roles you can call as inherited roles. Okay, those kind of relation only we call as hierarchy also. Okay, we call as hierarchy. There will be some connectivity and process flow related connectivity would be there, those we call. But see, these two functions are not directly related to payables. That's the reason those are present, I mean, they are just representing in green color. Okay, so this is the seeded one which is given by Oracle. Now what we want to do is we want to make a copy. We want to copy this role. How to copy? Okay, here you can just click here. So here we have a edit, but please don't edit the seeded roles. You should not edit. Even in EBS also, whatever the seeded menus we are getting, we should not do any changes to that. Only the option is we have to create your own, but you can use it for reference. Use it for reference, but here also same. You should not go on to edit directly whatever the seeded role we have in this environment. Okay, okay, don't edit it. Go with the copy role. Other one is compare roles. Compare roles in the sense you have a payables invoice creation duty role. This role you want to compare with other role to understand from this role. This role will give the access to what and other role will give the access to what. If you want to compare, you can use this compare role option. We'll go through it. And simulate navigator. If I just click on this, okay, if I just click on this, the current user, what are the privileges this current user has, out of that, those privileges user is getting because of how many privileges because of this role. Okay, how many current user has access to payables, right? As we know, current user have access to payables. That access, out of that access, how many functions are related to this role, those you can understand. We'll see one by one. I'll just take you through. The first point is don't go with edit role. Only you can do this edit role if that role is already custom role. If it is a seeded role, please don't go with this option. Okay, from here you can do, otherwise just place the cursor here. Okay, right click, and here also we have those options: compare roles, copy role, edit role. Okay, set as a focus and all, expand and expand all. Okay, you can see all these options and all. Okay, so this is from here or from anywhere. From here you can go with the copy role, or else directly click on this. It will be here also you can see the same function. Let's go on to copy this role. Okay, so I'll just click on this and say copy role. Last for the name, and see here copy options. We have two options. Copy top roles and copy top role under inherited roles. So if I take example, this same role. So if I say copy top role means, okay, let me drag. Okay, it's not accepting. Fine. Okay, see, copy top role. If I take that, this will be copied as this. So whatever you can see, these all are the different functions. Okay, for each function there will be security. Security attributes also will be there. Security attributes means the security, data security. The data security means whether user can have view privileges or update privileges or delete privileges. All these options also will be there for each and every function which you are able to see within this role. If I go with the option called as copy, if I say copy top role, this will be copied as this. And here we can see some other functions which are not related to payables, which are inherited functions from other applications. Okay, which will work based on integration based functions. So these inherited functions will have a data security. If you want to copy that seeded data security for inherited functions, you can select this option. If you select this, it will be copying. Now our target is payables related, but payables related role has some other functions which are inherited from other roles. For other roles, inherited function related data security also, if you want to copy, you can go with this. Otherwise, if you want to copy only this role related functions under data security, where you want to ignore the other role related functions data security policies, you can just go with this copy top role. Now we'll go with this, but for our just whatever the case we taken as requirement, that will be supported by this. And if you want to copy from other inherited functions related role related data security also, you can select it. Okay, let's go with this option, copy top role. I'll show you the relevant whatever I'm just talking about. If you are not getting this point, I'll show you anyway. We have option to discuss on that also. So copy top role, I'm selecting this option, then say copy role. So I'll give here Fusion payables invoice creation, take custom. Okay, here I'll take Fusion, I'll take as a custom. Okay, I take in this name. Now you can click on next. See, functional security policies. The functional security policy is nothing but what are the functions this role has access. Within this role, what are the different functions we have. You can just see all those functions. These are the, if you assign this role to any user, that user can perform all these activities. See here, privilege names, apply or unapply prepayments, okay, capture charge references, correct payables, import validation errors, and create payable invoices, delete payable invoices, edit payable invoices, holds, import payable invoices. We have many. Okay, this we copied from CDET. Now we are creating the custom duty role. That name is Fusion Payables Invoice Creation Custom. Now say our requirement is we don't want to allow the user to validate the invoices. In that case, very simple. Here we have one uh, privilege called as validate payable invoices. Okay, validate payable invoices. Just so you can delete it. It's very simple because it's not seeded one. From seeded role we copied this. Okay, this is a copied role, so you can simply delete it. So you want to delete this validation function from this copied environment? Yes. Say yes. And if you want to include something else, if you want to include some other functions into this, yes, you can do that. Say add function security policies. Just click on this. If you want to add something, you can add here. Okay, so these are the different functions available. You can just add into this the privileges. These are actual privileges. Okay, say approve payable invoices or just reject and cancel payable invoices. Okay, so what you want to do, just you can do here. There are the job and duty roles, but we are talking about privileges. Go to privileges. Okay, so these are the different privileges. Okay, so what I'll do is, when I talk about invoice, let me go to the invoice. Just go to privileges section. Okay, so I want to add this privilege into this role which is not there within this. Okay, just select, say add privilege to role. added to this role. Okay, done. And if you want to add something else, yes, you can add from here. Already that is added. So invoice related other privileges you want to add into this role, you can do that. So okay, approve payable invoices, which are not part of current role, whatever we are creating, you can just add here. So just we have many other. Okay, so validate payable invoice that we removed, right? We removed that, let it be not required. Just one we added, one we removed. Okay, just then click on next. Here data security policies, that is nothing but it's all about privileges. It's all about privileges. So you can add some additional privileges. It's all about what kind of access we require. What kind of access we require, that you can see here. Just I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to accept whatever we have from seeded, the same we copied, we are going to use it. Just for information, I'm going for edit option. Okay, and if you go to your actions, by default these privileges are enabled. See here, for payable invoices, the delete privileges user has, and the read privileges and update privileges. That means full privileges we have. Okay, that's nothing but data security policies. What level of access? With the functional security policies, you can access to the function, but for that function you need read only or read and write privileges that you can set by using the data security policies. If you want to add any additional policies, you can add here, and then click on next. Role hierarchy. So hierarchy means here basically that the current role whatever we are creating. So these are the different role related functions we have seen, like which are related to which we call as external role related. Those only we call as hierarchies. But within this role you can add additional roles also, that I'll be showing. But in the next example I'll be showing how to add the additional roles. But for now, whatever we planned for that not required. Okay, you can add many roles to this role. Okay, but by default within that in payables invoice creation role itself, we have some other role related functions also which are not related to payables, that only you can find as a role hierarchies. Okay, this role is connected with which which are other functions, where the functions are belongs to other applications or other roles. Okay, so this is item inquiry, and this is like interface related administration. These are the different role related functions, so that the system is showing as a hierarchies. And then click on next. Here you can see the functional security policies. One we added, one we removed. Okay, one we added. What we added? We added cancel invoice function. We added. What we removed? We removed like invoice validation function. The same system is showing here. Data security policies, we didn't do any changes, we didn't add or we didn't remove. And role hierarchies, we didn't add anything, but we'll see in the next whatever the role next. We'll create one more role. At that time I'll show you how to add the hierarchies also. And for any user specification, this role we given no, nothing. Impact roles or users, no changes in that. Then say save and submit, save and close. Okay, the process request is submitted. Say yes. Done. So this also we completed. Now we created a custom role by based on the seeded role. Okay, by using this custom role, which we created by copying from seeded, we have to go to APM now, and we have to give the naming convention. We have to do the mapping between these two. From here, the process remains same, whatever already we discussed. Now go to APM. Sorry. to setup and maintenance. So to navigate to APM, we have to go to manage duties. Click on search, say manage duties. Okay, here go to application roles. Click on new. Here give the name as Fusion Invoice Custom. The same I'm giving here. Then click on save. The last session what we did, from here application role hierarchy, we selected seeded one, right? From here we selected seeded one. Okay, from this list we selected this role, I think this duty role, payables invoice creation duty. This is what we selected. This is a seeded, but now we don't want to use a seeded one. Whatever we require, how we require, accordingly already we created, we have to select whatever the custom duty role we created. That let's go and do it. Naming convention we given Fusion invoice creation custom. That is the name we given. Search for it. Oh, this is the one we created. Okay, Fusion invoice custom. Right, this is the one we just created. Fusion invoice custom. Within this duty role only we removed invoice validation. Right, just say add. So instead of selecting the seeded, we are selecting the custom one. Select and say add. It's not working. This is we created yesterday. No. I think this is the one we created. Fusion payables invoice creation custom. Okay, this is the one we created just now. Select it. Okay, now we have to do the mapping between the what are the role. Just we created a external role also, right? Go to external role. Here that is the name we given. Fusion invoice custom. Given creation, what name we given exactly I don't remember. Fusion invoice custom. Please somebody unmute it. Sharath, can you mute please mic? don't remember what name. We create external role, right? Let's go through this. Yep,
The
this is the
Fusion
one.
Payables invoice creation custom.
Payables invoice
Yeah,
creation custom. Okay.
Fusion Payables.
Okay. Okay. I'll go with this. We'll check it.
Fusion invoice creation custom.
Fusion
Fusion invoice custom.
invoice
This is
custom.
the rule.
It's not
No, Fusion
reflecting.
underscore invoice underscore custom. That is the role code.
That is a code name, right?
Yeah, otherwise it is a Fusion invoice creation custom. Name is Fusion invoice creation custom.
Fusion invoice custom. How we give a name? I forgot completely. Fine, we'll just go and verify. Here only we have. I'll just create again. I don't remember what I've given. Okay, Fusion invoice
Creation custom.
job
No,
role.
creation custom. That's what we give.
No, I'm creating again.
Okay.
So it's going to be external role, job role. Okay. So next. Okay, it's displaying that code only. Then earlier also we got that same. Here display name is coming here. Just now we created that. I'm selecting. Okay, done. So we did the mapping. Okay. This is the role name, job role name. With this job role only, custom duty role we mapped here. What are the custom duty role we created that we mapped? Now what we have to do, we have to add into the template, right? This task we done, and we did that role mapping also between the job role and duty role. This duty role is not seeded. The earlier case it was seeded, now it is custom, right? This duty role is custom duty role. Now we have to assign this role to template. Assign custom role. Within the custom role we have custom duty role also. That's very important point. So we have to assign the custom role, which consists of custom duty role to role template. So here say payables. Here select search for role template. You have to go to template, then click on search. Select it or double click. If you double click, directly it will open. If you select, you have to click on open folder. And go to external roles. Some other people also are practicing. This is the one which we assigned earlier. Now anyway not required, you can remove it, because we to generate the roles only will be assigning already we generated roles. It's not mandatory, we have to keep here. If you keep here, for every new BU creation, automatically system will be generating the roles for that also. Fine. Now we have to add that role here. That is not the name. Display name is, this is the display name. Search with that. All functions are sorry, this filtration is not working. Just no issues, we'll go and find it. Here no, it's not working. Take some time to find it. Not able to find it. I'll just reopen once again this. just refresh this. Then go to add. This is the actual role name. Yep, now it's coming. Fine. So select into this. So we added this custom role here. Now say apply. I'm sorry. Go to policies and select this whatever the custom role we added. For that we have to set the database resource. Click on add. Same process. Earlier also we did the same. This name we have to provide. And below we have to give some ID specification. I'm just because the view we are not getting, so I'm going in this way. Here object primary key I'm selecting as a BUID to BUID. The mapping I'm doing. Then go to actions. Through actions, the mandatory you have to select at least one action for this. Let's do one thing. This we can minimize. Now I can show this. No issues. No. Here I'll select means within this custom role what are the functions we have. The functions are belongs to which process, what exactly that relevant one you can select, but ultimately the whatever we have in our custom duty role, whatever we created accordingly it will work. When you are specifying the data source, database source, as well as this data set, actions are mandatory, so that's you have to tag it. So that's the reason we are doing, but select always the relevant, then say apply. Okay, now we just added and we given all the specification, all the policies whatever required. Now we have to generate the data roles, right? That's what we did and we have to do now. This we completed. Now we have to generate the data role for custom role. So click on generate roles. Okay, now this is a custom role name. Now you can find this role with the combination of our BU. Let's go and create user to test it separately, because if you add to existed you cannot understand that validation option it's coming or not. So we'll follow this process we generated. Now we'll go and create the new user. So what we are, I mean, in this example we are making the difference with only validation option, and apart from that we just gone through how to create this, how to copy, and how to do some changes to functions, that also we discussed. Now we'll go to idea, manage job roles. Just refresh it. Fine, connected. Just go click on user and go to setup and maintenance. Navigate to IDM. For the task is manage job roles. Or you can use other task called as create implementation users. Click on task. Go to administration console and click on create. Okay, just I'll give the username as validation. Means the purpose what we are going to test is validation. We remove that, we should be able to see there. So organization, click on go and select the seeded value, which is a dummy value for this definition. Select user type, say consultant or employee. It won't make any difference even if you select any value. Validation. Then save it. Now go to roles and assign this custom role. For our BU. Okay, Fusion Invoice custom job role, Fusion US business unit. Select, so add. Then you can submit LDAP. Go to schedule process. Okay, it's taking time. Great. So search with the term called as LDAP. Select job called retrieve latest LDAP changes. Say okay. Just refresh it. Okay, we're done with this user creation. Send roles. Okay, it may take some time. Meantime, just log out and log in with the new user. Username is validation. Fine. So from here you can just navigate. Basically, this view we call as springboard. Springboard view we call, but anyway we'll go from navigation. Say invoices. Okay, sometimes when you create the custom role, it may not work immediate base. In that case, just wait for some time, it will start working. So create invoice. Here, there should not be any validate option in invoice actions. Validate option is removed. So cancel we added. Okay, anyway, just we'll test it. We'll create invoice. Okay, this user can create invoice. That's all. We can just we can save it. Apart from that, no validation, no other action. Just save and close. That's all. So this is how just you can take existed duty role or any role. From that role you can make a copy. In the copied role you can do required changes. You can add or remove additional functions. You can remove the existed functions, or you can add the new functions into that role. That's how you can do the role customizations. Okay, fine. Just I'll sign out from here. Go to that Fusion. Okay, and you can have access to this security console with the help of IT security manager user. If you don't if you don't assign that role to the user, you cannot access from that your user. Okay, that IT security manager role is very important. We have to assign to the user, then only you can access this. Today why it is slow. Okay, fine. Security console, and before we take other simple example to understand few more points, I'll show you what does that mean by security hierarchy. So very simple. Go to setup and maintenance, then go to APM. APM means task name is manage duties, search. Then click on go manage duties task. Here select any one of the template. Let's go with the payables template. Click on open. External roles. Okay, I'm sorry, not this one. Duties. I'll go with this, not template. Go to roles and search for here. So earlier we created one role with the for payables only invoice creation. I'm just going with some other role. Sorry, that is application role, right? So payables. Okay. So this is a duty we have. Okay, I select this duty and click on open. And this is a hierarchy we call application role hierarchy. Actual role name is payables invoice creation duty, but this duty is connected with many other functions which are related to different applications related duties. See here. So FSCM, load interface administrator, party information inquiry duty, purchasing order viewing duty, review receipt summary duty. Okay, so whatever the role you are using for any application, that role may connect with the other application related other function, different function which are not related to application. That connectivity related roles only we call as hierarchy. For this role, these four comes under role hierarchy we call. It's nothing but just some connectivity with other functions related roles. Okay, that only we have seen when we are creating that copied with a we just seeded one we copied, and when we are creating system is showing the two hierarchies. One it was showing this, and other one it is showing as a item view, right? This only we call as the application role hierarchies. This only we call as hierarchies. Means this role is connected with which other roles, other duties, that only we call as role hierarchy. Okay, we'll just go on to create something else from here. Today instance is a bit slow, seems to. I'll just show you how to create that hierarchies also manually if you want to create some hierarchies. It's nothing but grouping. The connectivity you are just what by default for seeded system will be taking. That's how Oracle build those roles and hierarchies. But if you want to make some hierarchies, it's nothing but grouping the multiple roles to give the privileges to the user from single role whatever you create. Just 1 second, please. Go to security console. Okay. Okay, now this is a job role we have, which we customized. You can select it. Now if you want to edit this, you can edit it since this is a custom one, but don't go with the edit role function for seeded. Now you can go and edit anything. Okay, this is a different one. Just think this is a job, not this one. This is a job role name, but basically we given something else, right? Duty related. This is the one. In this only we have a functions. This one. Fusion payables we given. Yeah, this one you can select. Here you can go on to edit this role because it's not seeded one. Based on seeded role, we copied and we created. Anytime you can go and edit it. Here you can find all the functional security policies. So anytime you can add or remove, and again you don't need to perform any additional activity. Automatically system will update the same. Okay, and this is how you can do. And one more point here. See here. I'll go to this role. If I assign this role to user, that user can have access to what, and for what user cannot have access. That if you want to check with the current user related privileges, simply you can click on simulate navigator. Just click on simulate navigator. So these all are restricted wherever you see this. Okay, no privileges, no privileges. The current selected role doesn't have privileges to all this. And what exactly for which privileges this user have access, if you want to see, that means if you assign fusion payables invoice creation custom role, that will give access to only these are by default will come only invoice. Yes, that only we tested, we have seen also. Okay, the current, that role selected role, if you want to compare with the current user have access to what within that. If you go with this role, okay, this role will give the privileges to what. If you want to know, you can just simulate, you can understand. Only for invoices. Yes, this we created for only invoices. Okay, that is the one. And if you want to compare, so you can go with the compare role. This role you want to compare with another role. Compare roles. This is the one system selected. We want to compare with which role? Want to compare with accounts payables manager. Okay, accounts payables manager. Select it, then click on compare. So here you can see Fusion Payables Invoice Creation Custom Role. This has a privileges to create payable invoices, import payable invoices, view scanned payables invoices. But when you look at payables manager, accounts payables manager doesn't have privileges to relevant to that. But the payables accounts payables manager have privileges to this. Okay, access supplier work area overview and assign business unit business functions. This user can do this role. From this role also you can do this. Assign payment process attributes to document payables. See that here the detail level they given. This payables manager have access to many functions. Access but Fusion Payables invoice creation custom role has access to only very limited functions. Here many we have. Again here few more you can see for this. That's how you can see. Okay, if you want to see only in the the first row, just first role, this role, you can just select this option. Only this role has access to what, only what, if you want to see you can see like this. And if you want to see your accounts payables manager have access to which roles, which functions, then you can select this radio option. You will be able to see for all the which functions this user have access, because this information is very much important when you are going to create the custom role. You have to see, and based on requirement, whether this would be fine or not. So you can plan and you can create. For that reason you can analyze by using these functions, compare function. And if you want to see which functions are, which function access these two roles has commonly, only these few. These are the common function access for these two roles. Okay, this is how just you can compare if you want to compare between the two roles. Okay, if you want to group multiple roles, yes, you can do that. So in that case I'll go with this option, create roles. So I'll give the name as Fusion Payables Super User. Super User. Okay, we know like that roles. Okay, anything you can group into external or application related roles. Okay, here I'm just selecting anyway application roles. Application roles means whatever, you know, like the three type of roles we call as external roles. Application means duty roles, the rest of roles comes under external. So here I selected external role. So when I say external role, those are nothing but job roles. Click on next. Here I'm not going to add any security policies and all. Straight away I'll be selecting existed. Now here I can add it. I want to group multiple roles. I want to group multiple roles. Here I can use add roles. Say accounts payable manager. I want to select this. Say add role membership. Add it. Accounts payable supervisor. Okay, this role also added. And specialist. So now for the current role, these three will become hierarchies. That's all. This only we call as hierarchy. For the current role, what are the other roles which are connected? Those only we call as hierarchy. Now if you go and assign this role to any user, that user can have access to all the functions which are available across these three roles. That's it. Here you can see role hierarchy. We have three. Then expand and you can see what are the three. Then save and close. Okay, if you want to use this, what you have to do is you have to create one more application related role, right? So application related role, you know this, just I created this external role. Now you have to create one more role called as application related role. These all you can group and you can assign. That's how it works. Hope that you can do it. So, so these are the points to understand from here when you are creating any custom roles. Any privileges you can remove and you can add. Okay, that's how you can do it. So once we tested and everything is done. Fine. Fine. So just record this. So that's all about custom roles concept to understand. And here, just going to mark it as a done. You'll see this supplier and invoice related conversions bit later. Before that, we'll go with these other concepts. They are very simple concepts. We'll just look into that, then we'll go with this supplier and invoice conversion. So the next point I mentioned, create accounting entries and transfer to general ledger. It's not a big task, simple. We have to go and submit the program job we have to submit, but for every invoice almost we are going with that relevant task only. Post to ledger means it will create accounting, it will transfer to general ledger only, but we'll go and submit it. You can do that task from schedule process, you can run it, or else from invoice workbench also you can run. Go to invoices. I'm sorry, it seems to today's system is a bit slow, it's not responding. Let me refresh this link. Go to navigator, go to invoices, and go to this task panel. Here you can find the task create accounting. Just click on create accounting, which will create accounting for invoices, payments. If reconcile payments are there, reconcile payments also. Select subledger application as a payables. Okay, here for which ledger, when you select ledger, with the ledger only we are mapping the business unit, right? And process category not required. For all we want to run invoice and payments. And end date by default system is taking today date. Okay, you can accept the same. And accounting mode final. Okay, we'll go with the final only. What final will do, it will create accounting and it will transfer. Process all events, yes. Report style summary. And this also interface transfer to general ledger, yes. When you say go with the final, yes, it will be yes only. You cannot go with the no. And post in general ledger, we have option to choose. I'm selecting after transferring, that should be posted. So that's all about these parameters. Then let's go on to submit. So accounting entries will be created and it will transfer to general ledger. Okay, now we'll go to the schedule process window to just monitor the status. I think GL periods are open, right? Yes, open. With that reason only, just we are able to create invoices in AP without any issue. Go to schedule process. So post journal entries and system is running the relevant jobs. So system is just updating those journal related balances to S-based database for reporting purpose. This is a publish chart of account dimension members, detailed values on. At the same time, it is updating the account balances which are related to our primary ledger to S-base. I'll just will discuss bit more detail level when you are working on that Hyperion reporting, financial reporting studio in GL. Now we can go and see the same payables related journals information in GL. Go to journals. Very slow today. Go to task panel. Say manage journals. So accounting period December. Source is payables. can see all the data. Put it. Okay, so this is how we can create accounting and transfer to GL. And payables period close process. Same as EBS, no changes here, but we got some additional advantage reconciliation point of view, like where we can perform the payables and general ledger reconciliation. You know, when you talk about payables period close, what we'll do? Just it's the same as EBS. Will make sure that all the invoices are validated and we'll be running the invoice on hold report, and we will just perform the accounting for all the transactions. If at all you require, you can run the unaccounted transaction report. Okay, unaccounted or else a simple program we have period close exception report, and we can run the posted invoices, posted payment registers and all. So these are the set of some reports will be running, and the payable trial balance also will be running to know all the just information, just to verify, uh, I mean, which are pending and all the information. So, but if you run the period close, just you can see that information, period close exceptions. You can find what are the exceptions may stop you to close the period. Based on that, you can take necessary action. That's how it works. But when you talk about fusion, like you no need to remember all those what need to be done. All they given as a one set of jobs. Okay, all they given in the as a separate list which are related to period close. We'll go and see that. If you want to see what are the activities you have to perform as a part of period close, go to the application, go to navigator, and from navigator here you can go to function called as reports and analytics, and go to the shared folders. Here we have shared folder for financials. Expand this. So I'm just going with the payables. Expand this payables and drag little right. Okay, here we have a period close related what reports or programs we have to run. Expand this. You can see. So these are the different programs reports we have to run to understand the what is the status of the information open transactions or whatever, posted invoice register, posted payment registers, and you can run the payables period close exception report, and payables trial balance report, and payables unaccount transactions, and sweep report where it will be sweeping the unaccount transaction to next period. This same process, if you know in EBS, the same will be following here, but here they made little bit simple. All they just grouped into one folder where you can perform these activities one by one in the
Uh,
sequence.
Lakshman, Lakshman Tanmay this side.
Yeah, Tanmay.
Do we need to do some kind of configuration while running these report, or automatically we can do that one?
You can run automate, no setups, right? Even EBS also you don't do any setups. Okay, these
Okay.
reports always will just to get to know the existing data. Okay, what are the issues we have with the data which may stop us to close the periods, right? If there are some issues we cannot close the period, that's the reason these are the key reports which you have to run to know the detailed information. uh, and all you can find, but this is a primary, I can say, payables period close exception report. This will give you all the issues which may stop you from period closing. So you can work on it, you can do it. Still, if there are an account transaction which you cannot resolve as of now, and at that moment you may move those kind of unaccounted transaction next period. For that you can use this sweep, and again this we call as BI space. From here you can run the reports. I'll just run one report and I'll show you just here. Expand this and go to posted invoice register. Posted invoice register means what are the invoices accounted and transfer to GL. Just click on more. So now we are in the BI catalog page, and here we have option called as open this report for parameter selection, and select ledger. If you want to run for specific business unit, you can run, or or else we'll go with our ledger. Ledger we mapped with only one BU. So done. Accounting from November 1st to till date. I think here. Okay, December 31st selecting, no issues. Then click on apply. From here also you can run any report. If you want to see detailed information, this is summary. See here, summary information. If you want to see detail, go to detail. Okay, if you want to just download this report output in the different formats, here we have options. So export, we have different options through PDF or Excel or PowerPoint. Okay, I'll go with say PDF. Okay, that's all. You can just zoom. Okay, this is how just you can just run the reports in this environment. Just here the point what we are discussing is this is a point where you can see all the period close related activities in the one place. Okay, that is the point. The other point is the reconciliation, which we don't have in EBS and which we can perform in Fusion. So if you want to perform the payables to general ledger reconciliation, what we have to do is there is a certain process which you have to follow. So when you say payables and GL reconciliation, we'll do the reconciliation based on the control accounts. Right? In payables, we have a control account called as accounts payables. Account as a control accounts. Maybe for a few clients may go with the multiple control accounts also. Whatever it may be, what process we have to follow, let's see and understand. So I'll take this. So when I talk about reconciliation, the first point is set reconciliation accounts. Okay, first we have to set which accounts are reconciliation accounts. Then we have to process reconciliation data. There is some extract job we have to run. We have to process reconciliation data, then run reconciliation. Just 3 steps. Okay, we have to set reconciliation accounts. Which accounts we are going to use for reconciliation, that we have to set. Again, that account for which application reconciliation also we have to set. This we can set from the value set. When you are just doing the value, when you create the values, we have value attributes. Out of that we have one attribute called as financial category and reconcile. The reconcile you have to set to yes, and the financial category, the account, the values belongs to which financial category, that you have to set. When you say process reconciliation data, it's nothing but there is one job. When you run that job, system will fetch the data with the same control account from payables as well as general ledger. It will fetch the data when you run the reconciliation. So that will be displaying what the data system is fetching from the two applications. And after running that, if there is any variance between GL and AP, the variance also system will be showing variance reason also we can see there itself. So that based on that we can take the quick action and we can just resolve those issues. That's how they made it very simple. First we have to set reconciliation accounts. Say for payables we want to do reconciliation. Payables control account is accounts payables. To set some account, any account as a reconciliation account, go to your, what I can say, your project. But you can go to project from here. Setup and maintenance. Implementation projects. Click on overview. Open this project. Chart of accounts. values, set values. Okay, go to this task, click on the task, click on go to task icon. Great. So go to Fusion account value set. Go to manage values. Search, you can find all the values. Okay, for payables or control account which you are using is accounts payable. Select it. Select this accounts payable account. Then click on edit. Alright, this is our account.
They're using corporate account.
Oh,
value
okay,
set.
okay. We used corporate. Fine. Fine, then go with the corporate account. And click on manage values. Search for value called as account called as accounts payable. And we have two accounts here. Which account we used? Let's go and see. That's why somebody added one more account. Okay, we have two accounts. First, we have to go and verify which account we used for our configuration. This instance is very slow today. Your task name is common options for payables and procurement. This much time it is taking. Okay, common options for payables and procurement. Just open this. Sorry, not define, it's a manage. Manage common options for payables and procurement. It's one of the setup which I already did. So here just so we'll see which account we given. So for that account only we have to set that 22100. Fine. So 22100. This is the one. Select this account, then click on edit, and here since this is like a corporate account and all already they done, but in our case when you are normally create, you may not give it. In that case what you have to do is set reconcile as a yes, and set financial category. This account we are going to use for payables reconciliation purpose, so set to accounts payable. These two attributes you have to set reconcile and to set financial category as a accounts payable. Then only this account we can use for reconciliation purpose in between GL and AP. Okay, this attributes you have to set, then say save and close. Okay, now we have to submit the process where system will be fetching the data with the same account balances from GL as well as AP. Okay, go to schedule process. The tools, go to schedule processes. Just type some test. Okay, here we have one job called as prepare payables to ledger reconciliation. This is the task we have to select. So this is the task name, job name, prepare payables to general ledger reconciliation. What it will do, you can see here, it's a prepare transaction and accounting information for reconciliation, okay, for payables and general ledger. It will fetch the data from these two applications with the same account. Submit. And here we have to give the request name. This request name we can use at the time of actual reconciliation process time. Okay, this is very important here. Request name, just give some name which you can remember when you are going to submit that process. So here I'll give this reconciliation, I'll say Fusion AP and December. Select your ledger, and optionally you can select your business unit. We don't have many, one only you can have. If you have many, if you want to run this for specific BU, you may select the accounting period, December 16, and here you have to select for which account you specified financial category as accounts payables, and where you set reconciliation flag as a yes, that account you have to select here as a mandatory. So add fields, just you can go with account, you know, don't need a combination. Equal to its account number is 22100. If you don't mark it over there, here you cannot select that value. This account you cannot select. Once you set reconciliation option, then only you can find this value. Then say okay. If you have multiple liability accounts, in the same way, one by one you can add, or else you can go with the range also. You can select here. I selected equal to. Otherwise, you can select between. The range also, liability account range also you can specify here. Before that, you have to make sure that you selected those options at value set level. I mean, as a level of values. Then say okay. Then submit it. Now system will fetch the data with this control account from payables on GL, and that will be tagged with this name. Click on submit, then click on close. It's completed. Still some child program is running. Now we can go and submit the GL to AP reconciliation. So just go to navigator, select invoices task, expand this folder option, I mean the task list. You can click on task panel, and if you scroll little down here under accounting, you have a payables to ledger reconciliation. Just click on this task, payables to ledger reconciliation, nothing but general ledger, payables to ledger reconciliation report. Select your ledger, Fusion USA primary ledger, and request. This is the one we given. Since only one we have, that system is defaulted. This is the name Fusion AP December 16 I given at the time of submitting the job. Okay, so if you want to filter with the business units, you can do it. You have only one BU, and if you want to go with the specific balance segment values, you can do it. At specific natural accounts also you can do it. So you can submit here. You can see if there is any variance. Yes, we have some variances. Okay, so here the variance also detail level you can see the payables beginning balances, payables ending balances, in between for invoice payments and prepayments, and payables variances. Okay, the period balances, all the information you can see. This falls into some issues and all, what exactly that issue and all, if you want to know. Okay, for example, just I can click on this. The difference here, nothing we have. Just I just want to I'll click on this. It will be showing if any issues are there with this. So I'll check whether it's related to some payments, final accounting missing. I'll just verify. That will give the information to us. Because of that, this is a variance is coming, means we can see there. 1 second. Okay. Okay, seems to that is not related to this. Okay, that issue is not. Yep. Final accounting created, no. So that is the issue because accounting is not created for this. That is the reason. Okay. So this is a you can consider one of the reason for that. It's got closed. So go to invoices. So payables to ledger reconciliation. Okay. So earlier I think we selected this. Okay. Let me scroll it right. Okay, final accounting is not available for this transaction. Okay, so in this case, just we have to look into that. We have to just perform that accounting for that. And the same way, what are the other issues we have related to reconciliation? All we have to perform. Just here, I'll go here. So these are all related to just payables. Here I'll go with this. Not posted in general in ledger. Here detail level you can see the same. If you want to see that more detail level transactions and all, so you can go here. So by seeing here the variances between GL and AP, you can work on it and you can fix. So you can close all this. So this is causing for reconciliation between the payables and GL. So all these payables related journals information is not posted in the GL. You can go and post it once again. You can submit. Still, it will be showing. Okay, what is the variance and the variance reasons also. Manually, you don't need to go and find out the reasons. If you run this report, you can do it. Only the process wise, these are the 3 steps are involved. It's a one time task. We'll go and set which accounts are reconciliation. This is every time we have to run. Whenever you want to do reconciliation, you have to run this. Within that, whatever the job request name you will be giving, that will be using as a parameter when you are running the reconciliation report. Okay, run reconciliation, say report. Okay, this is how we can do the payables to general ledger reconciliation. Okay, fine. That's all for today. In tomorrow's session, we'll just see some other concepts which are pending from payables. Okay, in tomorrow's session, we'll start with this. So, supplier and do open invoices conversion. Okay, just we'll work on it. And I think 2 more concepts are left from payables. One is approvals, where we have some issue, and withholding tax. Okay, we'll complete all. Any questions on today's session, please?
Lakshman, this is Venkat.
Yeah, Venkat.
Yeah, we created a custom rules.
Yeah, Venkat.
In EBS, like to limit any reports or any concurrent programs, we create a custom request group and assign it
Okay.
to the custom responsibility. Do we have something?
No, it's not like custom request, and we can give that privileges also. I'll show you that when we are dealing with reports. I'll show you that point.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Yep. Any questions?
Hello.
Yep.
Hello. Hi, sir. Sir, it is a corporate account is just like operations account in R12, sir?
Correct. So vision environment, we have a predefined value set called as operations account in EBS. Here they create it as a corporate account. That's it. It's one of the value set which consists of many accounts which we may require in the process when we are doing setups and testing. That's it. Equal to that. That only same. Naming convention here they're given as a corporate account.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thanks. Any other queries? Fine, then we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. So seems to no questions. Any questions, please? Anyway, I'll be available for 5 more minutes in this meeting. You can ask me before that. Okay. Thanks for joining today's session, and have a good day and good night.
Lakshman?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Sarath Lakshman.
Tell me, Sharat.
Yeah, I also have one key question.
Yes.
Is when we are creating the custom roles.
Okay.
So in this custom role, for example, we are going to define a completely altogether new. Okay.
Okay.
Altogether new in the sense, actually, for example, it might be the creating only invoice.
Okay. Okay.
Or creating only supplier.
Okay.
Okay, so we are some kind of related to the AR1 or some one thing from the GL.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. That time, actually, if you want to put only different names for the, like as we have the submenu name, right? Submenu name is we want to give it a new name. So there we need to create all these prompts and everything, right?
Here,
Like the
see,
targets and all those.
no, here it's not like a prompt will be giving. What are the function name that only you can see in the display. So here you have, say, those prompts will be inherited within that functions. Here you don't need to just go and set it up. What are the standard
Okay.
prompt Oracle given, that only will be used. Yes, what you are telling, the point is when you are creating the EPS, we'll give the display name, right? Prompt name will be giving. We'll be selecting the submenu or functions in that menu definition form. Correct. But here it's not like that. It will be like whatever they given for the function display, that in the same way you can see here.
Okay, so you can't change it.
Yeah, you cannot.
Okay.
Yep. Fine. Okay, then see you tomorrow. Thank you.